Hey guys, so fairly slow start to 2021 as far as Smash speculation is concerned, but a decent amount of interesting things have built up worth talking about, so let's recap what's happened over the last few weeks. Before we get into the Smash specific stuff, let's talk about a few other Nintendo things. First off, something strange happened recently with the official Rabbids Twitter account. They changed their name from @RabbidsOfficial to @MarioRabbids, and then shortly after changed it back. Many people suspect a sequel to the Mario plus Rabbids game might be coming, and potentially they changed their Twitter account's handle a little prematurely here. I played a bit of the first game and it was pretty fun, so I'd welcome a sequel. I'd also note this is good evidence for the close relationship that Nintendo and Ubisoft share, which could result in a Smash character or something. But Nintendo and Ubisoft have been close for a while now, I don't think there's any doubt of that. And Ubisoft has stuff in Smash already anyway, so whether or not we get a sequel to the Mario plus Rabbids game doesn't really tip the scale much in either direction as far as the possibility of getting a Ubisoft rep in Smash goes. Next up, Centro Pokemon on Twitter is saying that Pokemon Diamond and Pearl will be getting remakes this year. These were kind of already the agreed upon, assumed to be Pokemon titles we'd likely get this year anyway, as they are next in line for a remaster after Ruby and Sapphire. However, Centro Pokemon also discovered the URL domain name for diamondpearl.pokemon.com has been enabled. If you go to it, you'll just get a 403 error. However, it means the website exists, but isn't viewable yet. Likely, if these are the Pokemon titles we should be expecting this year, and I suspect they probably will be, we will probably have them officially announced on Pokemon Day, as we usually get Pokemon news then. Pokemon Day is February 27th, so the end of this month. Kelios has been talking about the possibility of some kind of Nintendo presentation, possibly a Nintendo Direct or something, and this was all based on some rumors about Apex Legends potentially being released February 2nd, which is tomorrow. On Twitter, Apex Legends News wrote, "Breaking, the Japanese version on YouTube states Apex Legends is coming to Switch on February 2nd. And Kelios responded to, "Don't think so. This is more a tweet shadow drop thing." Kelios said, "It could be too, but I heard Nintendo is on something, so let's see." So nothing concrete here, and I don't think anyone is claiming a Nintendo Direct leak or anything even close to that. Just suspicion some kind of presentation like a Direct might happen to announce Apex Legends' release date. Amazon Japan also has the game listed for releasing to Switch on February 2nd, and again, the 2nd is tomorrow. Maybe some kind of presentation or even a Nintendo Direct could happen tomorrow, and the game could be one of those ones that they announce like, releasing later today, and it's like shadow dropped or something. They do that from time to time. Who knows, but today Nintendo Wire reported that the game's director said news about the game's launch on Nintendo Switch should be happening very soon. So we'll see tomorrow if anything happens. Amazon Japan listing Apex Legends as February 2nd isn't the only interesting listing for some future Switch games release dates. The Austrian retailer Gameware has listed some Switch games release dates for games that have no official release date yet. What's especially interesting about this is that Gameware had previously correctly predicted Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory's release date, so they could be right again here. The Switch titles Gameware has listed are Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remastered, and they have it releasing May 2021. We know the Tensei 3 Remaster was supposedly releasing for Switch at some point in the spring already, but they are saying May specifically here. Even more interesting from Gameware, they have Breath of the Wild 2 listed as Q2 2021, and we have no confirmation at all about when that game might actually release, not even if it will be this year or not, though most seem to suspect it will be. Q2 would be at some point in like the summer or early September at the latest. The box art cover here that they used is just a placeholder, so nothing official. Anyway, I suspect Breath of the Wild 2 might be the big highlight game from Nintendo for E3 this year. Would be pretty insane if the game had a surprise launch right after E3 or something. The hype would be absolutely crazy, as we've seen almost nothing for the game yet. Okay, so now let's talk Smash stuff. One really odd thing that happened way back on the 11th of January was Nintendo's YouTube channel re-uploaded the video of the 8th Mii Fighter costume wave. The one with the Geno costume. This was a while after we had already seen that, so it was a little strange. One thing people noticed was the Final Fantasy VII logo was changed to just regular Final Fantasy. So maybe there was some kind of copyright issue with the Final Fantasy VII logo, and they changed it and re-uploaded the video. Who knows, but Square seems to be really odd when it comes to dealing with copyright stuff. Now, another really odd video Nintendo's YouTube uploaded back on the 18th of January was this one titled Adventures with Familiar Faces Await on Nintendo Switch. They go over a bunch of Switch games with characters most people are familiar with, like Donkey Kong, Mario, Link, Zelda, Yoshi, and Kirby, but they also included Crash and Spyro among the otherwise mostly Nintendo games. The whole video ends with Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, so Sonic is here too, and Sega and stuff, but still it seems very noteworthy that Nintendo is aware of the fact Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are the type of highly recognizable gaming characters people love, similar to characters like DK, Mario, Zelda, Yoshi, Link, Kirby, and Sonic the Hedgehog. They fit the familiar faces await on Nintendo Switch theme here. Now, I'd say it's pretty obvious to most people that Crash and Spyro stand tall among all those other gaming icons, but this video shows Nintendo feels the same way, and that could be very good news for either Crash Bandicoot or Spyro's chances of actually getting into Super Smash Bros. After all these other games have characters already in Smash, and Smash has always been about the big gaming icons getting together to battle it out. Nintendo openly acknowledging Crash and Spyro are popular, recognizable gaming characters currently being promoted on the Nintendo Switch alongside all these other recognizable gaming characters is pretty significant in my opinion. Speaking of Crash Bandicoot, over on the Crash Bandicoot Reddit, it was reported that a Crash Bandicoot cartoon was being developed for Amazon, but was sadly canceled. Over on Twitter, @BandicootWorld wrote, "The Crash Bandicoot cartoon was just canceled yesterday, abruptly after a year of development according to Pert Kelly on Reddit. Whether or not it's true, I still believe it deserves a chance to become something great." And then there's even a video showing a short animation of what the cartoon could have been like, probably a sort of pilot or prototype animation made to get an idea of what the show was going to look like before they actually went through with developing it. On Reddit, Pert Kelly wrote, "No distributors want to work with Activision. They apparently had a horrible interaction with Netflix regarding Skylanders, and Netflix wouldn't even take a meeting about Crash." And then they went on to say it seems word may have gotten around that Activision is a nightmare to work with. So unfortunately, it seems if this Crash cartoon really was in the works, it no longer will be coming out. We had actually sort of suspected a Crash cartoon might be happening based on something Charles Zimbillis wrote on their blog. Charles Zimbillis is a concept designer for Crash Bandicoot, and they wrote that something cool and exciting for Crash would be coming soon. They were asked some questions about what they might be hinting at, and specifically if it was Smash, Twinsanity, or a remaster, and Charles said none of the above. So we speculated maybe it could be a cartoon show or a movie or something. And now hearing a cartoon show may have been in the works but was canceled, I suspect that's probably what Charles was hinting at here. There was supposedly a document listing out a 5-year plan to revive the Crash Bandicoot series. With the remasters in Crash 4, and now this canceled cartoon show, it does seem there has been a big push to get Crash back into the spotlight. Rumor has it, one of the things on the document that was leaked is that Crash was coming to Smash. I have never seen this 5-year plan Crash document thing myself, so I can't say for sure if Crash coming to Smash is on there, but we do have articles from a few years back talking about a plan existing and that it was leaked, but there aren't any specifics mentioned. Potentially this canceled animated series would have been on there as well, but who knows for sure what was on that document plan, and if Crash is coming to Smash was one of those plans, who knows? Amiibo theory has been one of our strongest theories. A very good indicator for predicting Smash reveal dates, and our next Smash Amiibo batch is due out on March 26th. Chaotic Fire 86 pointed out to me that the mobile game Crash on the Run is due to release March 25th, so that would line up nicely around the release of those Amiibos. Of course, so would plenty of other games, such as Monster Hunter Rise. Honestly, I feel Crash makes for a better E3 character reveal rather than in March, and we did have the Crash 4 website essentially leak that the game is probably coming to Switch eventually at some point here, and that still hasn't been announced. My guess would be if Crash is happening for Smash, it would be an E3 reveal, maybe alongside announcing Crash 4 coming to Nintendo Switch. Though personally, I don't care too much about when Crash gets revealed, I just like to get the character, but I do care a bit about how they reveal Crash. Mixing the mascot Crash guy with the megaphone and the original Smash 64 commercial of all the Nintendo mascots fighting in a field together is just too perfect of an opportunity to miss, in my opinion. Please, Nintendo, if Crash is in Smash, do something with the mascot guy, and if you can, incorporate that Smash 64 commercial, it would be perfect. Okay, so since I think Crash Bandicoot is more likely an E3 style reveal if he's in Smash, let's talk about which characters I do think could be next, revealed probably in March to coincide with Amiibo theory, and be Challenger Pack 9. My guess right now is Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, though I've suspected Hayabusa might be next several times before and it still hasn't happened. I have a lot of reasons to think Hayabusa is happening for Smash at some point, and I've gone over them in other videos, so I'll just recap a few major ones briefly here. Koei Tecmo is close with Nintendo. We just got a Koei Tecmo Spirit event with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and they have had content in Smash since base game. VergeBen also mentioned Koei Tecmo negotiations for Smash, though they don't know for sure what came of that. And there's lots of other minor things, like Sakurai simply being a fan of ninja characters, it seems. Anyway, let's just focus on the new stuff that's been happening as far as Ninja Gaiden and Ryu Hayabusa goes. Not too long ago, Koei Tecmo announced that they had a game that would make fans say, "Finally!" And many suspected it could be a Ninja Gaiden game they were hinting at. However, then there was an interview with Fumihiko Yasuda of Team Ninja, where they were asked about Ninja Gaiden, and they responded, "Nothing to announce or note specifically this time, but if the Ninja Gaiden series hadn't existed, then there wouldn't have been a Neo series. So that's a really important series to Team Ninja. While we don't have anything specific to announce at this time, I would like to say just look forward to some potential news for some kind of announcement in the near future." So even though he said they have nothing to announce at this time, we have had a leak for a while about the Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy coming out for PS4 and Switch, supposedly releasing in March, the same month as our next wave of Smash amiibos. Then there was an interview with the director of Ninja Gaiden, Tomonobu Itagaki, where he was asked about Hayabusa coming to Smash, and he said, "I think it's a stage big enough for Ryu Hayabusa to play an active role." It's very important to note that Itagaki no longer works at Koei Tecmo, and hasn't for a very long time, so this is likely just his personal feelings about Hayabusa joining Smash, and not anything to read into one way or the other. Also keep in mind past instances similar to this, like that SNK interview where they joked they'd want a dog as an SNK rep, or Grant Kirkhope tweeting about not holding our breaths for Banjo at E3. So even if Itagaki maybe heard through the grapevine or something about Hayabusa coming to Smash, we can never be certain with these sorts of statements, so we probably shouldn't give them too much weight. Alright, so Hayabusa is my personal guess for who I think is probably Challenger Pack 9, but there are some other good contenders out there. One major possibility for Challenger Pack 9 is a Monster Hunter rep, as Monster Hunter Rise is coming to Switch on March 26th, the same day as the next wave of Smash amiibos. We're even getting some Monster Hunter amiibos, and notably, the Hunter themselves don't have an amiibo. Perhaps that's being saved for a revealed Smash amiibo. We also have some Monster Hunter stuff in Smash already, yet not as much as you might think from such a major series, so it sort of lines up with how a lot of the second Fighters Pass has gone. Min Min brought more ARMS content to Smash with DLC, and Sephiroth brought Final Fantasy VII Spirits and music into Smash, and that felt extremely lacking in the base game, similar to what Monster Hunter sort of feels like. So Monster Hunter could be in a similar boat, and a character could bring in some more music, a stage, and spirits, and of course that would fix the lack of Monster Hunter stuff in Smash right now. Monster Hunter is also among the very few remaining missing Smash 4 Mii costumes yet to return, so either returning those costumes alongside a character, or just getting the costumes returning without a character are both strong possibilities. We've gotten all the other Capcom Mii costumes back, and they haven't had to return alongside a Capcom character, so the Monster Hunter costume showing up with someone like Hayabusa or something, or just some other playable fighter, is a possibility too. It doesn't have to be a Capcom rep, or it doesn't have to be a Monster Hunter themselves to bring those Monster Hunter Mii costumes with them. On Reset Era, Imran Khan wrote some interesting things they heard about Smash Ultimate, including how Byleth's moveset might have been originally an idea for another character that had been scrapped. They went on to say, without saying in any way that Monster Hunter was the character, the Monster Hunter team has traditionally been very against having Monster Hunter as a character in games, but doesn't mind crossovers with levels and monsters. They were seemingly feeling burned by Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite despite relenting on it. Inran then said, "I don't know if Monster Hunter is dead for the record. I don't think they're in the game, but I don't know." So while they aren't completely counting out the possibility of Monster Hunter, they do seem to suggest Byleth's moveset may have originally been for Monster Hunter, and Capcom might not really like having the Hunter character from Monster Hunter represent the series in crossovers. So it's very possible that was something they were maybe considering at one time, and it never came to fruition as a playable fighter. And besides Inran's comments, there are some other reasons to suspect Monster Hunter won't be happening as a playable fighter, and that mostly boils down to the fact that they are a Capcom rep. We had a huge leak from Capcom a few months ago, and nothing Smash came out of it. Supposedly, not everything that the hackers that broke into Capcom servers and stole information from actually has leaked publicly yet, so it's possible Smash stuff is in there, or maybe Smash stuff is so sensitive it was hidden better and they didn't get that info, but still Capcom had a major leak, and so far we haven't heard about anything Smash-wise. And Capcom is the only company to have so much of its future plans leaked like that, and again, nothing for Smash has been heard. Yet, anyway. While it isn't 100% that nothing will happen, it's possible that is the case, so it's hard for me to bet on something like Monster Hunter for Smash, or any Capcom characters, knowing that there's this huge Capcom leak, and we didn't hear anything Smash-wise. I was predicting Dante might be a part of this pass, but I've since taken Capcom off my own personal predictions. Not impossible that we could get a Capcom rep, but still, I'm not personally counting on it myself. So I just talked about some of the missing Mii costumes from Smash 4, the Monster Hunter Mii costumes, and I talked about Imran Khan. And I should point out, Imran Khan has had Smash info before in the past. Smash Ultimate info. He definitely subtly proved he knew about Min Min beforehand. And Imran has said something about the other missing Mii costume we're waiting for, Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. Over on Twitter, Oddjob wrote, "This might be unrelated, but do you believe the Yuri Lowell and Lloyd Irving Smash claims?" Imran Khan responded, "Not at all." So unfortunately, this was a pretty short question and an even shorter answer, but I assume Oddjob meant this leak, the one that talked about Chun-Li being scrapped for Ken and mentioned Lloyd and Yuri from the Tales of series both being possibilities for future DLC. Now, since the question and response are so short, I'm unsure if Imran was simply saying they don't think Tales of is happening, or if they don't think it's happening next, or if they were fully aware of that Chun-Li Tales of 5chan leak thing, and they were dismissing that leak entirely as being untrue. So it's hard to say for sure what Imran Khan meant here by saying not at all, and I'd rather not spend a long time reading into such a short response. The possibilities are kind of endless. Imran could know every character in the past and is basically saying there's no Tales of character. Or he could just know the next character and know it's not Tales of, but maybe that doesn't count them out entirely. Maybe he knows the Lloyd Mii costume's returning, so that dismisses it. Or maybe he did know about that particular 5chan leak and is saying the whole thing is definitely bogus. I have no idea, and again, I don't want to read into it too hard. It could kind of go any direction. So given that Imran said he was unsure if a Monster Hunter rep would happen for Smash, leads me to believe he probably doesn't know every character that's remaining, or he might not even know any of the remaining characters. Personally, as far as Tales of goes, I could see it going either way. Namco works on Smash, and Tales of has been requested for a long time. Maybe they're saving the Lloyd Mii costume for the very end to surprise us with an upgraded Mii fighter into a playable fighter. Or maybe the Lloyd Mii costume will show up next alongside Hayabusa. After all, they both have katana, and these Mii costume waves sometimes have minor themes like that. If Lloyd somehow survives the next Mii wave, I think he's in a better position to maybe be upgraded at some point in the future. I could even see Namco being really modest and prioritizing everyone else's characters first and having a Tales of rep be like the final fighter if that happened. When talking the next fighter, Challenger Pack 9 specifically, it's worth noting the Tales of Festival was delayed until March, same month as our Amiibo wave. My guess right now is Hayabusa as Challenger Pack 9, but there's a good case for either of the remaining missing third-party Mii costumes from Smash 4, Monster Hunter, or a Tales of rep getting upgraded to a playable fighter next. Though again, personally, I'm banking on Hayabusa. I do think having one of those Mii costumes upgraded is also a possibility. Alright, so a couple other interesting things that happened recently. Fall Guys got a Cacodemon costume, and it looks very similar to the Cacomelo Cacodemon Mii hat. I just found this pretty ironic. On the subject of Space Marines, there was a video leak with a Master Chief Mii costume that changes colors, very similar to the Bomberman Mii costume having changing colors. While I will admit the video footage of this Master Chief Mii costume does look pretty good, we have seen people modding Miis much better than before, like the Sean Hicks excellent Geno Mask Mii costume. This being made by just some modder trying to trick people seems way more likely as the possibility of what's going on here. Cacomelo was impressive because we hadn't seen mods for Mii costumes of that caliber yet for Smash Ultimate. But at this point we have, and we also kind of think the Cacomelo leak was almost certainly fake at this point. So yeah, I'm not really believing this Master Chief Mii costume, but it's a pretty cool looking video anyway. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 had a new character added earlier this month, Sonic the Hedgehog. Pretty cool to see, as I know people have wanted that for a while, and they even have lots of Sonic character avatars to choose from now, including Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman as people call him now. Very cool to see Robotnik in Puyo Puyo, since we got the game as Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine here in the West originally. I'd love to get Robotnik in Smash, and I'd love to get Arl in Smash, so if that doesn't happen, it's still cool to see both those characters showing up in one game. Speaking of Sonic stuff, Roger Craig Smith is retiring from voicing Sonic. Some of it's sad to see him go, though Sonic's voice does change hands every so often. Urkel was the Sonic voice that I grew up with. Finally, Hideki Kamiya says we should reset and forget about Bayonetta 3. That way, when we hear something about it, it will be a nice surprise. We've been anticipating that game for a long time already, so it's going to be a nice surprise whenever they get around to showing us something. I can't tell if Kamiya is being sly and news is on the way, or more likely this is his way of subtly letting us know it's still a long ways off and we shouldn't bother anticipating hearing about anything soon. Who knows which way we should take this one, but sadly, it might be a while till we hear about Bayonetta 3 still. Alright guys, well that's everything I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I went over in this video, leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes, really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.